Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 13 for my series on the Midwestern Rails route using Trainz 2022 and JMRI to control the car movements. This is episode 13, and you can see up here it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have our last train here in front of us, who is, it's the train running from Pleasant up to Lockwood. And basically it's a straight run. There's no stops on this train today. So this is probably going to be the last video in the series. So we're going to follow... who is it? Oh yeah, it's Nick. That's it used to be Smiley. Somehow Smiley got changed out for Nick. I don't know how that happened, but anyways, so we'll follow Nick up to Lockwood, and what we may do is we may end up running, if there's enough time, we may end up running the Lockwood switcher. Hopefully to take care of these cars as we drop them in Lockwood, and that'll conclude. That will conclude this series. Basically, a day in the life of Midwestern Rails route. We're operating on a Friday, and I'll show you here the trains. So here is our train screen. As you can see, these are the last two trains that I have. We did leave later than scheduled in Pleasant due to having a little bit more work doing our switching in Pleasant. So let's see. Yeah, so Nick is on his way. Where is he? Okay, he's between Pleasant. He's between Newtown and Dovetail. Heading towards Dovetail right now. I think there's 20 cars. I can try and pull up the switch list here. And let's see, Pleasant to Lockwood. Pleasant to Lockwood. So this was our switch list. These are our cars. Just minimize that. So you can see we have no work at any of the towns. We got the we have 20 cars. And that's basically it. So we can take a look while Nick is running. Let's take a look at our cars. And if we see train, so here you can see the cars that are basically in our train right now, going up to Lockwood. So we can see we basically have an idea where these cars are going. So I can see that this car here, which is flat bulkhead wood, it's going to the Lockwood warehouse. This hopper grain is going up towards Newberry. Actually, this is it's actually going to the repair and place track up in Newberry. This is one of the things I just recently set up some schedules to get some cars going to the repair and place tracks. So I can see that we actually have 4 cars here that are going up to the repair and place in Newberry. We have flat bulkhead wood, boxcar, and a hopper grain. We have this car going to Blue Sky to the repair and place track. We have, yeah. So it seems like because I set up these schedules for the repair and place, I guess they're taking a couple of these cars and sending them to these repair and place tracks. So we're going to start to see some traffic there, and I'll have to fine tune it, I guess. Fine tune it by basically how long those cars are there. I can see that they're all sort of being dropped today, so we want to have it so that they're not necessarily all picked up in the following day. But we'll see. We'll see how. We'll take a look at that, or I'll take a look at that later on and see what fine tuning I can do. Where else do we go? We have so we have a car here. We have a reefer going to Lockwood Dairy. We have a car going to Prairieville Grain. I think you saw in the last episode we picked up some cars from Prairieville Grain. We have a car going to Blue Sky to McLean Distributing. Another one to Prairieville Grain. That's Newbury Repair and Place. We have a car going to Lockwood Brewery. That's an empty reefer, probably to pick up beer. Shaw's Grain is getting a car. Jefferson Grains, they're getting a car. Another car for Prairieville Grains. Another car for Shaw's Grains. It's kind of odd. Shaw's Grains. I'm surprised that we're not dropping that on the way up. Because we're going right through there. That's odd. Oh well. I'll have to take a look at that. And I don't think it'll work on this video. If I noticed that if I open up a couple of windows in JMRI, they don't seem to show up on the video. I don't know, my screen recording doesn't capture it. I guess maybe because it's a window inside a window, which might be happening with this screen. If that's the case, I'm sorry. I see it on my screen, but when it comes time for the recording afterwards, it may not show up. I apologize if that's the case. It's learn as you go. As I find these issues, then I'll know the next time. So that's just to give you an idea that where some of these cars are going to be going from this train. And let's see. So, oh yeah, we just passed through Dovetail. We missed that. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm just gonna go back to the car screen and see. Let's see the ones for Shaw's Grain. That's this one. And which other one? This one. These two. So we have UP 24372 and 92758. Let's see where they are in the train. Okay. So here's the two cars for Shaw's. They are, let's see, they are empty. Yeah, they're both empties. I think I might call an audible here, and maybe we will drop these cars. So there's a glitch in my recording. So right at this area here, for some reason, my voice was continuing on, but the screen was basically frozen. So the train was frozen in this position. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if it's a combination of me going through JMRI while the train is running. I don't know. For some reason, my video froze. So I'm just, I went back. I'm rerunning this train. I ran it up until the point where it froze. So I'm continuing on. I was talking about these two cars. Basically, I'm going to drop these two cars at Shaw's Grain. I figured out why these cars were not being dropped in Shaw's, and the issue was in JMRI. I had this train, the Pleasant to Lockwood. I had it. What was it? Oh, I had it only scheduled to pick up cars in Shaw's on its route up to Lockwood. And I had the train from Lockwood to Pleasant, I had it dropping cars in Shaw's. So what I had to do is I had to go into JMRI, and I had to add this train, the Pleasant to Lockwood, for picking up and dropping off at Shaw's, as well as the Lockwood to Pleasant train. So I'd show you that, but if I did, I'm not sure if the video would freeze up again. This is the second time now I've had issues with the videos. My last video ended abruptly. I'm not sure why it happened. I think that maybe the screen recording that I'm using does not like JMRI being opened up and manipulated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this video basically. I'll try to avoid JMRI, and maybe I'll do an extra episode just on JMRI and doing some of the things, the issues that I found that I tried to fix. So basically what I figured out is what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these two cars at Shaw's, and then at the end, well, it's actually already been done because I didn't realize that this video had an issue until I've basically completed running this train. I've moved all the cars in JMRI, so right now I'm just rerunning this video, and we'll drop the cars, but I'm not syncing it with JMRI because it's already done basically. As far as JMRI is concerned, this train has been run, it's terminated, and the cars have been moved to wherever. So I'll just physically, I'll drop these two cars at Shaw's, and then we'll continue the route up to Lockwood, and we get into Lockwood at about the last video, I think it was 6. By the time we finished, I think it was like 6:10, something like that. So we went a little bit over the time of, or a lot of time of an hour. Yeah, well, I'm trying to redo it just to make it complete, so that we'd have this episode 13 complete as a video. So we can see we're coming through a nice little town over here. This is what's the name? Clifton. Clifton. There's a power station here. Quite a large shopping mall over here. What's this? Woolworths Supermarket. Wow. Haven't seen that name in eons. Here's a Target. Target. Barnes and Noble. And what we got on this side? We have Home Depot. It's quite a big town here. Walmart sign, Supercenter. Of course, you gotta have a Walmart. Every town's gotta have a Walmart and a McDonald's, right? Ooh, an Arby's? Arby's or no? Yeah, Arby's roast beef. Wow. Terrible place, but cool to see in here. Citgo. What we got here? Oh, I can't read what that. Something repairs. Oh well. This looks like it's an asset meant for rail cars, but I guess they never put. Maybe it was planned to put a rail. Maybe it was planned to have something come in here. I have to look at that. Maybe I can add it. I know that Hiawatha MR, the person that has made this, I'm sorry, I don't know what his name is. All I know is it shows up as the maker of this route is Hiawatha MR. I don't know if it's Hiawatha Mister, if it's a abbreviation for Mister, or maybe the guy's name is Mike. I don't know. If Hiawatha MR, if you're watching this video, be great to leave a little comment, just so we can. Maybe you don't want your full name known. That's fine. Anyways, yeah, this route is made by Hiawatha MR. It's a great, awesome route. Lot of track mileage. It's a big route, but it's not overwhelming. It's a big route, but it's not. It doesn't take you 3 days to get across it. It takes you a couple hours to get from one end to the other. But I really enjoy it. And as I mentioned before, Microchip, also a YouTuber, he's doing a series as well on this Midwestern Rails. He doesn't. He has his own spreadsheet. I think he uses for moving his cars around on the route. He doesn't use JMRI, but he's entertaining to watch. I enjoy watching his videos. He's good. He's good at making videos. Me, not so much, but I just want to get this series done with and over with, and so I'm just waiting for the train to get up here to Shaw's so we can cut those cars off. And this is Clifton Power Station here. On this series, we saw Christopher brought these coal cars in, and we emptied them here. As you can see, the coal's been, let's see if we do this, the coal's been yeah, completely consumed. So power, I guess they're going to turn off the power here because there's no more coal to make the power. Yeah, I wish it would be stable enough for me to go into JMRI, but like I said, I ran this video all the way to the end, and when I went to play back, I noticed that it basically the screen froze, the train froze, but you could still hear me talking and talking about JMRI and everything. So, but that's it's all gone. All that is gone, so I have to redo it here. So Shaw's Grains is just up here around the corner. So we're not that far away. You might even see it. Let's see. Oh, my mistake. We are a couple of miles away. So we'll just we'll go into cab view for a while here. Enjoy some cab view train fanning, rail fanning, I guess. And it's too bad. I also went through and I filled in all these cars where they're going. Using JMRI, I figured out where all these cars were going, and I tagged them right away. They're not showing up here, but when I finished my route with this train, I saved it, so it's a save point. So I will. The next episode I'm gonna do is gonna be the switching in the yard up at Lockwood. That'll be the final episode of the series. Basically, the series of operating a full Friday from 5 a.m. until, well, it's gonna be well past 6 p.m. When the episode is finished. But yeah, the day in the life of the Midwestern Rails. And I'll work on that once I get this video completed. I had tagged all the cars, but they'll be in the saved version, so when I go to run the switcher job, those cars should be tagged in there still. Once I'm complete this one, I won't save it. I already have a save point, so. Yeah, getting closer, getting closer. This is, what is this? Is this GP, what is this? GP 35. Okay, and this one I believe is GP 38. If I'm not mistaken. SD40. Oh, okay. SD40. So, as I was explaining in the video, I figured out why these cars were not picked by JMRI to be left here at Shaw's Grains. And as I was trying to explain with JMRI, there's so many things that have to be aligned in order for it to work properly. So, like I said, with these two cars, one of the issues is that I had the train dropping in one direction and picking up in another. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm now going to have Shaw's Grain operated from both directions on both trains. So either the eastbound train to Pleasant, that eastbound train can either drop or pick up cars at Shaw's. And the same for the westbound train, it could either drop or pick up cars at Shaw's, because Shaw's is operated from both ends. It's accessible from both ends. Some locations like Judd, you can only operate eastbound because it's a trailing point. If you go eastbound, it's a trailing point industry, so you can work that one. So those are things, and in JMRI too, just you know, having an industry, if you don't have a box car selected as a car type that would operate there, you'll never get any box cars going there or being picked up. So as I have these issues, you know, I have to go through and look to see. You have to go and you have to look at all the info in JMRI. You have to look at the locations. You have to look at the trains. It's all linked together. So sometimes just a little check mark somewhere can affect your movement of cars. So we're coming into Shaw's once again, or the first time for this video. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these two cars coupled up to this other one that's there. And as I did in the last video, I'm going to couple up to this car, and then we're just going to fill these two just so that they're physically full. They're physically full in Trainz, so that when I do go pick them up and they're supposed to be full, at least they'll have the physics being full. It'll be a heavier train than empty cars. And so I'm going to take over here, and we're going to drop these up towards the end here, and we'll cut it off. Now, normally I'd try not to, well, yeah, we'll stop it so that we don't block the road, but it doesn't matter because we'll be backing up over the road anyway, so just drop it right here. And try and do this quickly here, as this is the second time I'm doing it. I hate doing things twice, but I guess that's what happens sometimes. Yeah, like I said, when I ran it the last time, we got into Lockwood just after 6. So as you can see, the lights are starting to come on even here in this location. So the day is getting short. So I'm just gonna fill these up quickly here. Yeah, this, I mean, JMRI doesn't care if these cars are actually filled or not. I mean, they tell you what the cars are supposed to be. But it's more interesting in Trainz if you run your trains with the weight that they're supposed to have. So that's why I like to have the cars filled. Sometimes I'll fill them just in Surveyor, or if they're supposed to be empty, if I haven't emptied them or I need them full, then I'll just go into Surveyor and fill or empty the cars. So we'll just couple back up, and I'll send Nick back on his way up towards Lockwood. Unfortunately, I just use my keyboard for controls. I'd love to have a rail driver or something to use, but I don't think it's being made anymore. So you'd have to find a used one or something if you want to have one, because I don't think they're available from just some of the research that I looked into. I think there's some new things out on the market for that, but I'll continue the schedule. All right. So those two cars that I just left, like I said, when I finished the previous recording that didn't take, when I was finished recording, I went and I physically moved those two cars to Shaw's Grains so that JMRI is up to date. Prior to building the train, I could have manually set up those cars to be dropped here in Shaw's, but I only realized after I built the train that two cars are going to Shaw's. It could have been dropped there instead of going all the way back up to Lockwood. So yeah. So here you can see it's 17:33. The sun is still above the horizon, but getting low. I think when we get to Lockwood, we'll probably notice that it's going to be setting at that time. One of the things I was mentioning in the previous video that was recorded but not recorded was I was mentioning about the layout North Texas Beltline. That's a layout. It's a model railroad layout made by David Hall of DH Trainz. It's a fantastic model railroad layout. It's well planned out. It's a fantastic route that I've run over 400 trains on that route. I was exclusively using that route prior to getting onto the Midwestern Rails here, and I love the route. The only reason why I stopped running on that route is just because I wanted to have larger trains run further distances. What I do like about the model railroad layout is that sometimes, like this, for this instance, for example, this train is just driving up to Lockwood, and there's not much to do. I'm monitoring it. There's no traffic coming the other way, so I know that we have the tracks wide open. But the nice thing about the model railroad layouts is that if you're going from one town to the next, it's a couple of feet. So it's there's more time spent in the yard switching and switching industries. Whereas on a bigger route like this, you spend a lot of time like running AI trains and And sometimes the trains, this route, for example, I wrote down, I'm just going back, I'm just looking at my notes here. So originally this train, we left Pleasant at 4:39 and we got into Lockwood at 6:14. So let's see. So it's well, it's less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours to run this train. Oh, we're just going through Judd. There's a car we dropped on the way up in Judd. After Judd now comes Lockwood. We come into the industrial siding of Lockwood, which reminds me, I'm just gonna fly ahead because there's some switches that held us up the last time just because they weren't thrown properly. So just gonna get that taken care of right now. So we just continue to flow through. So here we get stopped at this light because up here, that's there. And the rest I think are correct. That's good. Yeah. And here we go. Yeah, we go here. There. There. And I'm just going to add a navigation point here in front. So navigation, Lockwood navigation, crude north end. I explained why I'm doing this in the other video, but I'll just do it again quickly. So when Nick comes into Lockwood, he's going to be on this track. This track is a track that is left open. This is basically the main coming through and passing through Lockwood. There's also the other rail over here that's kept free on this side to make sure that trains can pass through. So Nick is going to come in on this track here, this outside track. And I'm going to want him to, so he's going to need to drop his cars on this this end. This is the Pleasant Lockwood interchange track. This is the north end. So on the south end of this track is the Lockwood to Pleasant cars. So the Pleasant train coming into Lockwood leaves its car on this end. The train leaving Lockwood to Pleasant picks up the cars from the other end. So when he comes in, he's on this main here. We'll have him cross over. And I usually, because I have this waypoint up here, just to make sure that my trains advance and then can back down the rails to where they have to go. So normally I put in this navigation point. It's called crude north end. The reason why is because when I bring in the crude trains from Sinclair, I have them come up to this point. Sometimes they're quite long, so there's enough room for them to get to this point. They stop and then they can back up into the yard ladder here at Lockwood. So that's why I had him do this. When he gets closer, I'll take over, and he doesn't need I don't need him to necessarily go all the way up there, but if I'm having trains run AI, I'll have him do that just so that there's a little bit more control into their routes, so that they don't go off on a tangent on their own sort of free will. So that's why I do that. So we'll go back to Nick here. He's moving along. I see here, I just saw John is waiting for track clearance. I don't know who John. Where was John? Oh, John, I think, yeah. Okay. He was going to the parking in North Star. So why don't we help him do that? Get him onto this track here in front of the CPs. And I think I ran over a switch there. Yep. These switches weren't correct. Okay. And now that I've gotten past that one, let's fix that, and that, and that, and that one there. We'll park them in front of these ones. All right, so he is now parked. Just make sure their lights are off. Their lights are off. These lights should turn off. Can't turn off the strobes, I don't think. So that's so now let's see, John. Yeah, see, John is cleared now. He had red there, but he's cleared. I'm just, okay, let's check out why Thomas, okay, Thomas will just switch him to manual. He'll be now showing manual control versus idle. I'm just looking to make sure that everybody is marked as manual control, and then it's easier for me to scan through and find out what trains I'm actually operating. So I see that this is the only one right now that's not in manual mode, and that's Nick, still inbound to Lockwood. I'll just show you for a second here. Jackie here is marked in this F7A. If we go and check her out, Jackie, it's a display model. Here in the, I call it the triangle. It's in the Lockwood Triangle. There's I guess a viewing area for people train spotting, and anyways, so this is a model they have landlocked here in Lockwood. So that's Jackie. I haven't I haven't had the heart to take her off of there, but yeah, she stays there. So okay. So as I was explaining again in the previous recording, so I was trying to debate whether I do one more episode to basically run the Lockwood switcher, and it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Whether I run the switcher when I get in, it'll be after 6 p.m., or if I run it in the morning at 5 a.m. Either way, it's going to be, the lighting conditions aren't ideal for operating, but I think what I'm going to do is I will do one more episode in this series. So I'll do an episode 14, which will be just basically running the Lockwood switcher. And I found some issues that I see some issues that I need to fix probably in JMRI. Here's the airport. And there's a plane. Is there a plane? There's usually a plane that takes off and then comes and lands back. Let's see. Yeah, so here's the plane. I don't know if normally he takes off and then flies around, and there's also a commercial airliner that flies around, but doesn't seem to be doing that today, so I'm not sure why. I got off track, sorry about that. So I'll just hop over here to the yard in Lockwood and show you what I'm talking about again. So this train here, this long cut of cars, this one all the way up to here, this is the Lockwood to Robin train, and I can see that there's some issues here because first of all, this track is completely full. I don't think we have room for any more cars, and I'm seeing a bunch of crude cars. Now, the only thing I can figure out is that the route from Lockwood down to Robbins passes by Sinclair. Sinclair is the oil field that we fill up empty crude cars with crude oil. And but I have a designated train that runs from Lockwood to Sinclair back to Lockwood for crude cars. So I think what happened is originally I was planning on using the Lockwood to Robin train to drop crude cars on the siding in Sinclair and pick up the full cars, so I wouldn't need to have a dedicated train to do that. And I think what happened is that was in the plans to do, but I think I changed my mind midstream. And I think that these cars are now locked here because there's if Sinclair isn't marked to have the Lockwood to Robin train drop cars, then they have nowhere to go. Like they're locked here because there's no train that's moving them. So I'm gonna look into this. So when we run the switcher, I'm going to see if I can get these cars removed from this track, because this track shouldn't be that long. And same thing for this is Lockwood to Blue Sky. And I see there's a lot of grain hoppers here that should be going over to the main grain elevator in Blue Sky. These are all grain hoppers that they don't need to be sitting here because there's probably demand to have them go. So I'm gonna try to sort this out. Maybe we can when we run the switcher after Nick has completed his route there. In the next episode, if we run the yard switcher, there'll probably be a lot of work. Probably be over 100 cars moved around. So I'm going to take a look at that before we run the yard switcher and see if I can have that figured out why this track is completely full. These cars here, I know these are for milk. So I know that they move. They go to, what's the town? Anyways, there's a town between Lockwood and Robbins that accepts milk, cars filled with milk. So I know that they go down there. Other than that, like these, we dropped these cars. They came in from Windsor, so that's fine. These cars, that's for Newberry. These two, I think, are not an issue. These cars here, these lumber cars, they're on the Mallstown track, and I don't believe I have anywhere for them to go in Mallstown. So I'm gonna have to look into and see. It could be that I was planning to do certain things and cars got moved, and then that plan got changed, so they've been stranded. So I'll have to look into that. And maybe the next time we run, we'll have a lot of work to do. I know these cars, they came in from Mallstown, so they're gonna have to be sorted. Yeah. Here's our yard switchers. I know I have to go in and I did that the last time through here. I fixed a lot of these trains, turned their lights off. So let's go and see. Nick should be coming in. Yeah, he's on the main now. So looks like I'm a little bit more efficient the second time around, because we're gonna get him to drop his cars at the other end there, and we'll move the power over to the locomotive parking, and we should be good. So I'm gonna shut down. We don't need that right now. This we don't need either. Get the screen cleaned up a little bit, and I'm hoping this video is recording properly. If not, then it's not an issue with JMRI, because I haven't really used it since I found that issue. Normally I've had no issues with screen recording. I'm not sure why it's happened to me now the last two videos. The last video abruptly ended, and this one I'm gonna have to stitch this this part of the video up onto the first one, and try to get it posted like that. I'm not a heavy video editing guy, and I just don't have time for all that. Like, I want to run the trains and do that side of it. Um, that's why I don't edit. I edit very little in these videos. If there's something, if let's say I have to pause and step away and come back later, I can stop it and record a new clip and then stitch that together. I can do that, but I'm not going to spend time editing out all my mistakes, and that's just too much work, and it's not something I want to waste my time on. So my videos are the way they are. It's just straightforward. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I'm not gonna clear them up to make myself look perfect, because no one's perfect. So it is what it is. That's what I say. All right. So I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to take over control from Nick. I'll just wait for, I can do it now. So I just got to clear this switch up here, and then I'll back it back in. And just make sure we're going on to that track there. All right. All right, let's bring it in. Yeah, having the cars on this end of the yard is a little bit of a pain, because most of the cars are in the other yard, on the other side. But yeah, in order to get there, we have to go all the way back up to the end of the yard, and so it's a little bit of a pain, but I'll do the same thing as I did the last time. I'm just going to disconnect the cut of cars. That's good there. And I'm going to run the power over to the locomotive parking. And then we will call it an episode. So I actually shaved about 14 minutes off. That's probably due to just fixing that issue with the switches coming into Lockwood. I think originally originally got stuck over there for a little bit, so. And we're going to move this locomotive over to locomotive parking number 1. Okay, up there, there. Sorry, not parking 1, parking 4. I think he'll get by here, right? Yeah. Well, okay. I can put him on to track 1. Doesn't make a difference. I know I'm moving fast here, but I want to get this over with. So just want to shut this down and stop this video. And like I said, we'll do one more episode, and then that'll be a wrap for this series, at least. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another one anytime soon. I like to be able to run my operate my trains when I have time, but if I'm looking to do a video at the same time, it's like I always got to sort of plan out my schedule, and I think I just need to run some trains for a while, so probably not going to do another series for a while. Who knows, I might go back to the North Texas Beltline and do some running on there again. Having it the model railroad layout makes it, I find, a little bit easier to make the videos, because you're not traveling big distances, and I don't have as many drivers there as I do here to scan through and get everybody moving, so it's probably easier to do a series on the North Texas Beltline layout. So maybe I'll think about doing that, but all right, and turn off the lights. All right, that is a wrap for this episode. Hopefully it's all recorded properly and I don't have to do it again. So once again, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch. If you stayed to the end, great, thank you very much. I'm not looking for likes or subscribes or whatever. If you enjoy it, come back. If I make videos and I post them, you're more than welcome to come and watch them. But I'm not looking to make any money off of this or that. I just like to share the way I operate the railroad, and I like to see how other people operate their railroads. And so like I said, Microchip, he does a fantastic job on his videos. Go over, check him out. And David Hall over at DH Trainz, He does some good videos too. He's building a new layout right now that he's doing some videos on. So go and check those guys out. They're great videos. And thanks for taking the time to watch little old me moving some train cars around. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a great rest of the day.